Ah! Oh, hey, there's Discord. In case you guys wanted to see Discord.
Check out our Discord.
Yeah, join the Discord. That was actually just an ad to join our Discord.
Yeah, all planned.
Yeah, join the Discord. We talk about stuff there. We post our models. We talk about Age of Sigmar there, because Age of Sigmar is coming out soon.
We post memes sometimes.
Most of the time, even.
That's where you can vote on stuff if you're a member.
Yeah.
For
you
the
can
narrative.
vote on our narrative. Oh, don't fuck up your focus. Yeah, you can vote on our narrative. We got a narrative campaign going on, 4 episodes long. We're 2 episodes in. So we're at the halfway mark. The next one is in a couple of weeks. So get on that if you want to take part in some votes to affect the campaign.
Vote in the poll.
Yeah. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the grand narrative, because that's coming up at the end of the year. And there was just an article they put out about it. Yeah. They just
the
put out
article
an
had
article.
some exciting news for the grand narrative.
Yeah. So, the biggest news is in the headline that it's heading to Warhammer World. So they're going to be doing, it sounds like, simultaneously an event in Atlanta and also in the UK. They are going to be linked somehow. I will be intrigued to see how that works, given like the time zones and stuff. But I think it'll be really cool. I think we can probably cut this stream pretty short by just saying that whatever the grand narrative is going to be whatever Ryan's narrative that he's working on is. Because they stole his last one, so I can only believe that they stole this one also.
I haven't told anyone.
They're in our walls. You don't have to tell them.
That's true. I didn't tell Elliot the details of this one. Although, and I'm not even going to talk. The theories I have for this would mesh well with what I was planning, or like what I was planning would mesh well with potentially some things
with Chalnath.
With Chalnath, maybe. I don't know.
No. Sean has a little orange icon next to his name. What's the orange one?
Why is he orange?
I don't know. Is that like time? Is that different?
Shouldn't you know?
No.
Isn't this? Didn't you set up this channel?
Maybe.
Wait. Did you just like find this channel and guess the password?
I plead the fifth.
Oh my goodness.
I don't actually know. I can't. I figured I could hover over it and see what that means, but I can't.
It's probably age, if I had to guess.
Age.
But anyway, enough about YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube sucks. Anyway.
Do you want me to just start going down my rabbit hole, or do you have things you want to say?
So, just overall, yeah, two simultaneous events, one in Atlanta, which some of us will be going to, one in the UK, which I don't think any of us are going to, but who knows.
The tickets are about half the price, so I don't know what flights
tickets are about half the price, but if I had to guess, the flights are very expensive. When I flew to the UK, it was like a $700 flight or something like that. Not cheap. But yeah, I think that's kind of it. Wait, more to reveal as we get closer to October? What's happening in October?
Time has passed.
Oh, that makes sense.
This is closer. I don't know. Because like, didn't they released? Yeah, they released the details about like the factions for the last one in like October. It was about a month out.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, so they released like, here's the, what was it, the Pact of something, Annihilation.
Yeah.
Order.
So
I don't remember.
I did a little sleuthing.
Okay.
And I know that at least for the UK tickets, there's 3 kinds of tickets. One of which is Imperium, one of which is Chaos, and one of which is Interloper / Xenos faction. And for their tickets, it specifically says you're going to run an army of one of those factions.
Interesting.
So,
let's see.
Yeah, click on details over there on the right.
Details.
Yeah,
Imperium,
see?
Chaos, Interloper / Xenos.
So, I had originally thought that
Huh.
they would do it kind of like they did the last one,
I liked how they did
where
it
this
better.
pack, yeah, where it was like the packs.
Yeah.
I'm, I have to imagine this means that the U.S. one's going to be the same in the end because of the whole connection between the two narratives.
Yeah, but the US one doesn't have the different options.
Right, but the U.S. tickets also went on sale like a while ago. They
Yeah,
may not have
they
had all
might
the
not have
details
known
worked
yet.
out. Oh,
Yeah, this like doesn't say anything about factions here.
yeah.
Huh.
So,
Let me see. Imperium. Nope. Annihilation. Nope. Interesting. Okay.
now, I mean, maybe there'll still be packs,
I like
and
the
like
packs
factions,
better than I like the actual factions.
and I mean, maybe they're just giving themselves options with the UK one. I don't know. It's interesting. It makes me think they're going to be divided in that way. But
Oh,
and
this is easy. We could drive this 4,125 miles.
oh yeah.
That's
There's like
easy.
a road, like a highway, the transatlantic highway, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's like a Bucky's in the middle, and that's it.
There's a Bucky's in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
That'd be
And
rad.
like
Just a
every
floating
10
Bucky's.
miles, there's just a sign that tells you you're 10 miles closer to Bucky's all the way. And
Hmm.
that's all you have to look at when you're crossing. That and the horrible sea monsters that lie beneath you. Anyway, the other thing we know about the narrative is that it's going to be set in the Chalnath Expanse, which we all know the Chalnath Expanse is in the eastern fringes of Segmentum Ultima, or Ultima Segmentum, whatever it's called, where
Ultima
Ultramar
Segmentum.
is. Yeah. There, and I did some research, and there's some interesting things about the Chalnath Expanse.
Mm-hmm.
Some things that surprised me a
Tell me
little
more.
bit. So, relevant to Jordan, there's a whole bunch of Gene Stealer cult stuff happening there.
Holy shit.
Uh,
That can't be true.
on the level, of like Gene Stealer cults taking over systems, which is not something I ever really thought Gene Stealer cults did. I always thought they just kind of like popped up on a world right before the Tyranids came, but apparently they get up to other shenanigans, like they'll take over worlds far in advance of Tyranid expansion, and then like take over systems and stuff.
I knew they did like
And
whole
then
planets. I didn't know they did entire systems.
yeah, in the stuff I read, it talked about how whole systems were taken
Oh, Gene
over.
Stealer cults.
Also,
Vedic system.
one group that got name dropped was the Pauper Princes, which, if correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't that the people who were on Terra?
That is the Gene Stealer cult that was on Terra.
Yeah, so that
A lot of the
threw me
Gene
for a
Stealer
loop.
cults have like I forget what they call them. They're not tendrils, but it's like the same kind of idea. They have like sects that split off of the main cult. And
So like
which one specifically was on Terra, but it was like a sect of the Pauper Princes was on Terra.
So like they'll have groups of Gene Stealer cult people moving through space, going to other planets.
Yeah, and so the canon, so like I run like Cult Tenebris and stuff. Canonically, the reason that they are like chaos tainted is because they were traveling through space, like on a cargo ship heading to a planet, and got pulled into the warp. But like, yeah, Gene Stealer cults absolutely go like planet to planet.
I guess I just in my head I always thought Gene Stealer cults were basically like a Gene Stealer shows up on a world, he hits people with whatever he does to make them Gene Stealy, and then over generations they grow into something that destroys that one world, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's way more interesting that they can like move around and they do other stuff, and they can be like more of an actual faction as opposed to like an event.
Yeah, and it was
Um,
interesting in Chalnath too because like it was mainly Tau, obviously with their like fourth and fifth sphere like expansion fleets.
yeah.
And Gene Stealer cults famously can't really infiltrate Tau. Um, and
Well,
so they were having to like infiltrate the Imperium and then fight Tau and everything like from whatever they were able to gather from the Imperium.
Yeah, so speaking of the Tau and traveling through space, something else that's in the Chalnath expanse is this thing. There's a wormhole that the Tau accidentally made by kicking off a bunch of their slip drives for the fourth sphere expanse
Mm-hmm.
or expansion, and made this wormhole from Tau space to the Chalnath sector that is, I guess, kind of like a stable warp tunnel. It is related to the warp from what I read, but it's not like doesn't seem to be as chaotic. You can just like travel through it. Uh, and then when the Great Rift popped open, the fourth expansion fleet that they thought had lost popped out, and I think that's what stabilized the warp hole. Because then they sent a probe back through. But anyway, those tower over there, and they've taken over a bunch of Imperial worlds that got cut off during the Great Rift, and so they've got a bunch of like Imperial uh, Galvasa, or whatever they call them. I don't.
Wevasa?
I used to know Tau stuff, but or Gausa, whatever. Auxiliaries working for them. So there's Tau there. There's Gene Stealer cults are fighting. With the Psychic Awakening, a bunch of crazy shit started happening. Tau started going insane from psychic stuff. People started doing miracles. Rogue Psychers popped up, and the Sisters of Battle of the Order of the Sacred Rose and Our Martyred Lady showed up, which I guess is what that Kill Team box set is
Yeah.
related to. And they're trying to save the faithful and kill all the heretics, which is basically what they do on any other day. But and they were particularly angry at Ethereals. They saw them as a threat to the sanctity of Imperial citizenry.
They're witches, dude.
Yeah. There's also a place called Watch Fortress Mortgard, which is a Death Watch bastion out there. And there was an Inquisitor called Inquisitor. I'm probably gonna butcher this name, but Inquisitor Jazad de Orntor. No, de Ontor.
William
Jazad
Dernessman.
de Ontor. Yeah, William Dermesman. He informed the Death Watch about the Tau, and so they started going in and messing up the Tau. So those are like the major factions that I found. The Tau are focused on this place called the Nimyar Atoll, which is around the wormhole. Gene Stealers are all over, taking over like planets and systems. Uh,
Yeah. I mean,
so
I guess I guess just like in this book, they're talking about this is kind of like all the main factions that are there.
mhm.
So like Tau is the big one. Imperium has the sisters there. There's Gene Stealer cults. There's orcs, obviously.
Oh yeah,
Um,
Orc Wash showed up at one point just to have because they heard all about all the fighting.
there's some like chaos cults. There's not really like a ton of CSM, I guess, but it's mostly like chaos cults popping up. Um, let's see, Drukari are there.
Yeah, I do know that in the lore for the Nimyar Atoll and like that warp hole, at one point a Death Guard fleet showed up and tried to basically break the blockade, and a few of them slipped through the wormhole, but most of them got turned back or something, and they don't really know what came of that.
hmm
So they're around there somewhere, I guess.
So you might actually enjoy this. They're saying that specifically the reason the Drukari are there is like not only get the tech and shit that they have. They specifically want the homunculus covens to gather Tau auxiliary species for experiments.
Oh yeah. There was that big event. It was like the first time Tau encountered Eldar, and the Eldar they encountered happened to be Dark Eldar, and specifically happened to be the coven of the Prophets of the Flesh, which is like Irene or Karth's
hmm
homunculus coven. And the Dark Eldar at first were like, "Hey man, we're nice, and let's work together. Why don't we trade some citizens, and like have an exchange program? We'll take them back to Kamara. We'll send some guys here." And the Tower were like, "This sounds great. This is the greater good. Everything's great." Because like they were fighting the Tyranids, and so they
hmm
were like, "We need allies. They're gonna help us." And the Drukari helped them a lot fighting the Tyranids. But then at one point, these grotesques showed up that all had like blue skin and very recognizable Tau parts, and the Tau were like, wait a second, where's our guys we sent? And they're like, oh yeah, they assimilated great. And then that was a whole
They
big
joined
thing.
us.
Yeah, I think it was called the War of Dark Revelations or something. And then the Tau or the Drukhari demanded more Tau, and the Tau were like, "Nah, dude, we see what you did," and then they raided them and took a bunch. But anyway, that's off topic. I like Dark Eldar. I need to get them painted up, like I need to do with everything. But anyway, those are the big factions in the Chalnath Expanse, which kind of, I mean, honestly, anything could show up there.
Yeah.
But
Those are the big players.
I imagine there'll be something related to this. I kind of like.
It'll be a Gene Stealer cult.
So, yeah, it could be
It is.
Gene
It's
Stealer cult.
like the Xenos leader ended up at the end becoming like a Zinch prophet. Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be the same
So,
thing. The Imperium leader
it's
is
funny-
gonna become a Gene Stealer cultist.
It's funny you say that, because like that is almost exactly what I came up with. So we have the Imperium, Chaos, and Interloper Xenos thing that could be the three factions or informative to the three factions. Also, at the end of the article, when it's talking about the three new leaders, it also lists out that they want to gain. One of them wants to gain knowledge, one of them wants to survive, and the other one wants to like enact the will of the gods. Like they list out three objectives, which I feel like is going to be the three objectives. And for survival, if Interloper Xenos is one of the factions, I was thinking like, what could the leader be? And my thought was that it would be a human Tau auxiliary, right? Because like they're going to have people acting these things out. There's probably not going to be a Space Marine. There's probably not going to be like an Orc. They've done Eldar before. They could do a Tau, but it'd be kind of hard to pull off. But like a human Tau auxiliary, like officer.
I don't think they would do Blueface.
Yeah, I don't think they would do Blueface. That's a lot to ask somebody to walk around all day in. But a Tau human auxiliary officer would be perfect. And also, over the course of the narrative, he could like get revealed as a Gene Stealer cult.
Yeah.
Since he's a human and easily susceptible, which would be a nice like little twist. And also, him going Gene Stealer is still technically Interloper Xenos faction. So he doesn't like change faction on us.
Or hear me out. You have a cultist, chaos cultist. Maybe like a Nurgle cultist or something. Becomes a Gene Stealer cultist by the end of it too.
They did make you Gene Stealers just for you, only you. But I don't think they're gonna make Cult Tenebris a big faction.
Not with that attitude.
Might. Who knows? But yeah, I had the Tau human auxiliary officer, a Chaos sorcerer who like got awakened during the Psychic Awakening, and then maybe like Ordo Xenos Inquisitor, Jazad Ontor, because like he's a pretty minor character. Although I don't know if they're gonna grab someone named, but it could be like another Ordo Xenos Inquisitor. And like that would be Imperium and knowledge. Will of the Gods would obviously be Chaos. And then survival is the Interloper Xenos. Knowledge could also be like an Adeptus Mechanicus guy.
True.
They would be trying to figure something out. Will of the Gods is pretty straightforward.
I guess like orcs would like fit into Will of the Gods, I guess, right? Because they just got Gork and Mork, just different gods.
I think in the article it specifically says Chaos Gods.
Does it? Yeah.
I think. Let me pull it back up.
Oh, knowledge, survival, or Will of the Dark Gods.
Yeah, Will of the Dark Gods. So I don't think Gork and Mork are dark gods, really. I mean, some people in the Imperium might say differently, but
depends who you ask.
So yeah, if we ignore the Imperium, Chaos, and Xenos thing, because like, even though the tickets are listed as that, I feel like
that's probably placeholder.
Yeah, I feel like it's probably gonna be something pact based.
Yeah, I mean, it might be Pact of Knowledge, Pact of Survival, and Pact of, I don't know, the Will of the Dark Gods.
Some Imperium guys like Pact of the Will of the Dark Gods. Well, I don't know. Are they talking about the Emperor? He's deep underneath Terra. It's pretty dark down there. I don't know. He's maybe that's him. But yeah. So for knowledge, I could see it being like some sort of Mechanicus Inquisitor. I could see it being like a Dark Mechanicus leader, but I think that'd be too overtly chaos.
I mean, we already like got Dark Mechanicus in the last one.
Yeah, I guess we did. Yeah, with kind of indirectly with Vashtor and all that. Or did the Dark
I mean,
Mechanicus get us?
the Mechanicus guy that was there, like straight up turned chaos by the end of it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. And I think in the lore, he got to whatever that planet's called, Wormwood,
Yeah, I think so.
and I can't remember. I think the planet absorbed him. I think it absorbed everybody. It absorbed Thedge and that guy. I can't remember exactly what happened,
Yeah.
but I doubt anyone from the old one's going to show back up. Although I don't know, they might. The Inquisitor's definitely not because he got domed.
Homie got cat.
But anyway,
that was cool.
so if it is PAX, where it's like not strictly faction based, like I think an element of the narrative that we're going to have. There's two things that we're going to have. A, we're going to have some sort of situation or circumstance that creates two chunks of the faction of each faction to be separated but able to communicate in some way to explain like the UK people and the US people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like how we're interacting, but we can't like go over there.
There's like some kind of delay of communication, right? So like you have to come up with some reason that delay exists.
Yeah. So there needs to be what I'm calling the separation event. And this is all speculation. Who knows how they're going to do it? It could be as simple as like we're on two different planets. I've got some wilder ideas that I'll get to in a second. And then the second thing is like a binding crisis, is what I call it, where it's something that's like big enough that people that would normally be enemies begrudgingly work together, like inside the packs, you know?
Some kind of common goal.
Yeah, so like in the last narrative, it was getting trapped on I just forgot the name of the planet. Trapped on that planet. Pallet? It was the Pallet sector.
System. The planet was Aquiltaris.
Aquiltaris, yeah. Getting trapped on Aquiltaris by the entity with the Tyranids about to show up and kill everything. It was kind of like, okay, even though we might be enemies, we all want to work towards this goal and the way to resolve it. So we're going to work together until this is over. So like there needs to be that binding crisis if it's pact based and not like faction based. And when I was going through all that, I had a wild idea pop in my head. Kind of spawned from the existence of the like weird wormhole and everything.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably gonna sound crazy, but what if the Hrud show up?
Okay.
Don't laugh. Hear me out. Just wait. The Hrud show up, right? Somehow connected to like, because that wormhole is like not a normal warp portal or anything. There's something weird time and space distortion. Hrud are all about that stuff. And then when the Great Rift opened, it like pumped up the wormhole and made it like behave weirdly, and then the other expansion group of Tau popped out and all that stuff. What if something related to that brings Hrud into play, and there's a time rift, and we're basically operating on two separate timelines, trying to converge our timelines back together so we return to reality, and they could have the same characters in each event.
Okay.
Working towards similar goals, but they're separate. They're like, it's a rift. And you could have stuff where you could do weird stuff where like one of the battlefields that we have over in Atlanta is like fresh and new, like buildings and everything. But there's like a nearly identical battlefield over there that's like that same battlefield, but
blown up.
10,000 years in like a weird future and stuff like that. Weird time stuff. The Hrud are like a big enough threat that it could bring people together. They also are like shadowy figures that work in the dark and in the background and are hard to track. So you could do stuff with that. And you could have something like you could have some element of the narrative where it's like you're trying to keep your leaders in sync with their two selves. And at the convergence, if you're too divergent between the two narratives, it causes something to happen. Or if you're like, if like you achieve the same goals and like your leaders don't go too off the board from each other,
Mm-hmm.
then you get like your faction gets a bonus or something. There's like a lot of weird things you could do. That's my wildest theory.
So alternatively, enslavers. So
It
listen,
could be
listen.
enslavers.
So all that Necromunda stuff that's coming out with the gene stealer or the fucked up gene stealers, I'm still convinced that the little dudes are enslavers. I don't think that they're Tyranids. I still think that they're enslavers, and I think that there's going to be towards the end of the year more of that kind of stuff like teased, and so it would be a good way to like tie that all together. Is have the grand narrative be about the reemergence of the enslavers.
Well, enslavers have popped up a few times. They're not like they haven't,
Not like
vanished.
in force.
Yeah. There hasn't been like an apocalypse.
Yeah,
Like there was at the end of the War in Heaven.
and so this could be like, oh shit, the enslavers are like really back, and this could be a problem, and so that would be a big enough cause for I think all of these different factions to work together to some degree. As for the time delay thing, that could be like easily chalked up to something as easy as you're just on different planets.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, my brain went kind of wild with it, with the Hrud, but
I like the time thing. That mechanic seems really cool. But yeah, GW is absolutely changing the narrative as we're speaking right now. They're listening to us. Hey, maybe it's both. Maybe the Hrud and enslavers are working together.
it could be. They're I've seen people talk about them together before, but I don't think they're really factions that would work together necessarily.
Might be. I don't know.
But who knows? We don't know a whole lot. Although there's a lot more information about Hrud out there apparently than I thought there was. I was reading through stuff, and there was apparently some book. I've heard people talk about this book before, but a book on like xenobiology in 40K. That was like a very limited run book that they released that had all this information, and apparently has a bunch of information about like Hrud culture and like
They have culture?
social structure. Yeah, they have culture. They have culture now.
They have culture now.
But yeah, there's like a lot of stuff that we know about them that I did not realize. But yeah, that's my wild theory. They could always just have it be two worlds that are like besieged or like in some sort of warp storm, and you're trying to like figure out how to like quell the warp storm, and we have to like get to I don't know, like maybe it's like Blackstone devices like harmonized or something, and one faction could be like, nah dude, we're going to use the Blackstone devices to crank up the warp storm and open a whole rift to the warp and things like that, or one faction wants to calm it completely, and another faction, they could just go the route they did with the Pact of Annihilation and be like, we just want to blow everything up, like blow up the warp array.
We just want to claim as many souls as we possibly can.
Yeah, skulls for the Skull Throne.
Souls for the Soul Forge.
Hell yeah, dude. But yeah, so there's a lot of ways they could go with it. My sense is that they might take. I have to imagine they're going to take some threads from what's happening in the Chalnath Expanse, because they talk about in the article, they talk about, was it Faith and Fury being fought out in that, desperate wars of Faith and Fury rage in the hellscape of the Imperium Nihilus.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of general, but Faith is like a big faction in Chalnath, so maybe one of the people is going to be like a preacher, or maybe a Sister of Battle.
Have
Sisters of Battle are
we?
just regular humans.
That's true. If I had to guess, the Sister of Battle would be like the Imperium leader.
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, if you think about what was going on with the Chalnath kill team stuff, it was the main shit was Sisters versus Tau. So Sister of Battle, Tau human auxiliary, and just a chaos cultist. I don't know,
It could be.
or a dark mechanicum leader. Maybe it's the guy from
Just,
from the other one. He's like, I didn't get et by the planet. I'm here to lead you guys.
yeah, like if I remember right, it was like unclear whether he got destroyed.
His fate wasn't entirely clear. Yeah.
Or actually, that guy might have gotten blasted by Vashtor. It was Thedge that got pulled underneath into the planet by a bunch of tentacles, and he was like, "I hope I live through this." And that was like his last thing we heard from him, quote unquote. So I mean, he might. Maybe Thedge will show back up as like some weird dark mechanicus dude.
That'd be cool.
I did like that cosplayer a lot.
His
acting was great.
Yeah.
He really got into it.
He was my favorite. I'm not biased.
Yeah, we're not biased at all. Has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that he was our pact leader.
No.
Or anything of the sort.
But so Pariah Nexus just came out. Has there been like any lore release with that? Because I haven't seen anything besides just like, here's a Pariah Nexus mission pack.
As far as I know, I mean, there's the show, right?
Right.
Which I haven't actually watched.
Also a Sister of Battle.
Yeah, there's a Sister of Battle in that. I could definitely see a Sister of Battle being one of the leaders. I mean, and I feel like there's a decent amount of Sister of Battle cosplayers out there. I've seen a lot of Sister of Battle cosplay.
I've seen a ton.
What was I about to look up? The Pariah Nexus is not really close to Chalnath. Although, if you warp through that warp tunnel, you get closer to the Pariah Nexus, kind of. You like hop across. I think it goes across the Cicadix Maledictum, or whatever the fuck it's called.
Cicadix.
But it pops you out in Tau, like deep into Tau space.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know. They've done a bunch of shit like in Pariah Nexus previously, but like with this most recent mission pack, I don't remember seeing any lore coming with it. It's just like the mission
most
pack.
Of the lore that we know about the Pariah Nexus is that it's a big region of space that is essentially anti-warp because of all the Blackstone pylons or something, Necron constructs that are in there that dampen the warp out.
Yeah, well, they have
sorcery.
the Necrons built like a big old anti-psychic, like anti-warp thing, like array out there.
I mean, the Necrons were trying. Necrons essentially were trying to do that to the entire galaxy at one point. Yeah. Before they went to sleep, and they never finished it. And apparently, all of Abaddon's previous supposedly failed crusades were just going out to destroy things like that to set up for the Great Rift. Abaddon
stupid retcon
wasn't
stupid retcon.
Yeah,
Abaddon was actually a bitch.
But yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if there were any like connecting threads between whatever the fuck is happening in Pariah Nexus and Chalnath.
Yeah, I tried to look into that. They just really are not, like, they're on as far as I understand it, they're on opposite sides of the Great Rift. Potentially that warp tunnel that the Tau made could get you kind of close, but you'd be in Tau space. That was one idea I had. another idea for like what the narrative could be is, and this would be a wilder idea, not as wild as the Flood maybe, but something happens where like there's a big incursion into that warp tunnel, and there's forces on both sides of it, and essentially we're trying to
Oh,
close it.
that's our separation.
Yeah, that could be one separation. The only thing about that that makes it seem iffy to me is I don't feel like I don't feel like the narratives are going to touch like big things like that that are established in the lore. But I could be wrong, you
I
know.
I almost feel like because this will be the third one, right? So
This is the
part
third one.
part of me like feels like the first two were kind of just like testing the waters because like even the jump from the first one to the second one was like a pretty big leap. As far
Yeah,
as
it's
like
true.
the story and also just the whole overall like value of the event, right? Um, so I wouldn't be shocked with, especially since they're now doing one also at Warhammer World, if this turns into something significantly bigger than the second one.
Yeah. I mean, it could be what do they call it? The Star something Rift. I can't remember the name the Tau have for it.
Yeah,
Startide Nexus is what the Tau call it. It could be that forces breach through or approach from the both sides or something, the Startide Nexus, and are trying to enact something to either close it, to keep it open, or third option could be blow it up, I guess. Uh, Blowing it up could be ambiguous enough. It's like, we want to blow up the Tau, or hey, we want to expand the Great Rift. You know, it could do all those kind of
I would
things.
like to send bombs through the tunnel, please.
Yeah, and like, yeah, like maybe we in the narrative we can like send units through the tunnel, so to speak. Like, obviously, we're not going to like hop on a plane and fly to UK,
Speak for
but
yourself.
like people might get like reinforcements in some sort of form, like on the battlefield or something. I don't know. There's a lot of ways they could do that. Um, that could be one thing, is like using the Startide Nexus. But then like that'd be pretty big if like the Startide Nexus gets closed. You'll have like another branch of the Tau cut off from the Empire, and even further away, because like Farsight's like kind of cut off. Then like assuming Shadow Sun is still out there in the Nimyar Atoll, she would be cut off. Uh,
Flights from Atlanta to Nottingham are only $4,000.
Only 4 grand.
It's probably cheaper to fly to London and not into Nottingham, but
Yeah, but yeah, so something like that.
it's $700
Uh,
to fly into London. But yeah, I'm not gonna fly to the UK for that.
yeah, they just need to make a Warhammer World USA.
Maybe they will. Maybe they're gonna open it in Atlanta.
They got. I mean, they obviously it makes so much sense to do it in Atlanta. And I'll tell you why. A,
We're
it's
here.
about as close as you can get, and still be kind of close time wise to like the UK,
True. Okay.
and be in like a major
It's only a
travel
five
hub.
five hour 5 hour time difference, I think.
Is it 5? Yeah, I think it is 5. That's close enough, I would say, to like effectively do business. Like if it was on the West Coast, it'd be like
Yeah.
no one's ever in the office at the same time. You
Yeah.
can't schedule meetings.
The day starts at
Uh,
9 a.m. in the US, and that's gonna be like what 2 p.m. in the UK.
yeah,
Yeah.
like you could have meetings, and everything would be fine. Also, Atlanta is a big, like I said, travel hub, big city, but it's probably one of the cheaper places to buy land. Maybe like compared to like
As far as like major metro areas go,
major,
yeah.
yeah, and especially if you go just a little bit outside of Atlanta,
Yeah.
it's even cheaper. Uh, and the narratives here,
And the
and Dragon
narratives
Con's
here.
here.
And Dragon Con's
EW,
here.
We know you listen to
And
us.
Slam
Just
Sector's
do it.
here.
And Slam Sector, and then you could run the narrative without renting out a hotel, which I think is why the tickets are so much cheaper over there, because they don't have to rent anything. They've
Yeah.
already got people on payroll that they can get to work it. It's just way better. I just want to be able
If
to
it
like
was here, I'd like volunteer to work at it just for funsies.
at Warhammer World.
Yeah, if there was one here, like if they did like a narrative for like at a Warhammer World, like yeah, I'll do it.
The one at Warhammer World also sounds really interesting because they were talking about how like at the Warhammer World one, going and like interacting with people in like Bugman's Tavern and like at the vendors
Yeah.
actually can have an impact on the game,
Yeah, I'm sure they're gonna
which
do
is
something
cool.
like that, similar, because they still had like a store set up at the last one in Atlanta. The bar was obviously like the
Yeah,
just
I don't think I'm gonna be able
hotel
to.
staff.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to get a narrative interaction when I go buy my
My
beer
bucket of
bucket of Bud
beer.
Lights. Yeah.
Give me 5 Bud Lights in a bucket, please. The
It's like, and what do you know about the lore of the narrative? And it's like, what the hell are you talking about, man?
what? I don't know what
Run
the
your
fuck.
card.
I don't know what you're on about.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
Sean says the Atlanta airport's the busiest airport in the world. I think he's right.
It's I think I've heard that before. I'm not totally
It's
positive.
also one of the better laid out airports in the world. I've been to some airports that are like fever dreams.
It's my favorite airport to fly in and out of. LAX makes me want to kill myself. Burbank Airport's actually pretty nice, but that's literally only because it's tiny. It's so small, and you just
Yeah.
like in and out very quick.
But yeah, you got any other wild ideas like what
I mean,
could be
enslavers are really
happening?
like my only big idea because I think that it would tie into whatever the fuck they're doing in Necromunda.
Yeah,
I'm still convinced that that's enslavers related.
they definitely looked in slavery, uh, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like whatever we say on this is what's going to happen because GW is just going to be watching this and steal it, and that's going to be the new grand narrative.
See now is the time when they're going to like purposefully not do that.
Because we're calling them out
Throw
on
us
it.
off the scent. Yeah.
Just to make it seem like they're not doing that, but we know.
Yeah.
We know, G-dubs. Yeah, I think that's kind of, all of my
That's about all I
big
got.
thoughts about it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm excited. I'm for sure gonna be going. I'm probably gonna try and film some kind of like vlog thing while we're there. It'd be cool to just like share that experience with people that don't get to go. It's really fucking cool.
We'll get head cams and just live stream the whole thing.
Oh, everybody
Okay,
get a camera on their fucking head.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hook it up. Wear backpacks with like big computers in them, powering it all.
Yeah.
That won't be terrible.
No, not at all. Yeah.
Yeah, I
We'll probably
really
do
want
some
to try
kind
to
of
make
vlog,
it.
but yeah. I'll be sad if you don't.
I I don't know if I can pull it together, but we'll see.
It is a little pricey.
Maybe I'll just go and do some artwork for commission or something.
What kind of artwork?
Well, just concept art of a sort. Anyway,
Normal Christian
uh,
wholesome artwork.
wholesome. Yeah, it's just pictures of Jesus petting puppies.
Yeah.
Regular
Yes.
puppies.
So they were saying that like whatever happens in the US like also affects the UK.
Yeah,
and
vice
there's
versa.
like some kind of back and forth there. They haven't specified like what that means, and so we're kind of like speculating a little bit on how that'll work. But yeah, it'll be really cool. So
yeah.
Hopefully,
I definitely
that's
think
still several months away, but we'll have something for it.
Yeah, I definitely think like wherever the two narratives are happening in the world is going to be at least something on the scale of a planet, so that they have all the different war zones. Like it won't be like England is a space station and we're on a planet. I don't think,
Yeah.
because I think they like making those like custom war zones.
Yeah.
So
And so they are doing like the separate like 40K and kill team stuff now. So before it was like everybody played 40K and then like kill team / boarding action stuff was optional that happened like late at night. Now it's two totally separate things, and so the kill team stuff is its own distinct like event going on that I think affects the 40K stuff, and the 40K stuff will affect the kill team stuff.
oh really? Is there like a separate ticket for
Yeah.
Kill Team
Yeah, it's its
for
own.
US? I saw one for
Yeah, it
UK,
has.
I think.
Yeah, kill team is its own separate ticket.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Is
So
this
there's
cost
no
the same?
like. Yeah, it's still $300.
Damn.
But yeah, there's to my understanding no more like doing both because they happen at the same time.
Right.
Um,
It was fun having the little like
the kill
after
team
dark
stuff is
game.
already sold out. All of the kill team tickets have been sold for the US.
Man, I guess if I'm gonna do this, I need to get a ticket soon.
Yeah, I mean we bought ours pretty late last year, so I don't know.
Yeah, but I feel like every year this goes by, the hype for it is gonna get bigger and bigger.
Yeah, that's true.
Uh,
A lot of people did some like post show content or like post event content about the last one, and I think it got a lot
Yeah.
of people really excited about it. It was a fucking rad event. So
Time to start turning tricks to play Warhammer.
what? I'm gonna start commission painting. Yeah. I'm
But,
still torn on like what army I'm gonna bring. I was like really sold on taking orcs, but now with all the Chalnath stuff, part of me wants to just take Genestealer cults again.
It's really tempting to take the same faction and keep like expanding upon their lore, and having like this weird story for a faction.
Yeah.
Um,
Yo, if we get enough people that are like in the Discord and watching the channel and stuff, like going to either of the different grand narrative events, we'll probably make a channel in the Discord so everybody can talk about what the fuck's going on.
yeah, definitely. I'm still in the Discord group
The pact
from
of
the last.
yeah,
Grand
I
Narrative.
am too.
Yeah, and like I occasionally go in there and post stuff. And
There was a lot of
there's a lot
conversations
of
happening in
people-
there today.
Oh yeah. I mean that article just dropped, so yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I gotta find a way to scrape together the money for that. But anyway, enough on that.
Yeah, I would want to make sure I'm on y'all's team. Yeah, so that's like kind of the thing. Is Matt is I'm pretty sure like taking Blood Angels. He's like pretty confident about that. And
Yeah.
so Ryan and I would probably be again like on Chaos, and Matt would be on Imperium. Yeah.
Our original plan was to try to all be on the same team this year because like Matt was alone last year and it wasn't quite as fun for him. Like having Jordan on the same team as me, it was fun. Like having someone you knew and you could talk about the stuff with.
Yeah.
So we'll have to figure that out.
Yeah, we'll probably coordinate closer to like the time of the event because it's still 5 months away. So.
Yeah, there's still time. Yeah. Also, if you're going to one of these grand narratives, either one, have some sort of cosplay. Come up with a character, or like be cosplaying as a character from your army, like your warlord or whatever. And it doesn't have to be like full on, but like just like a robe or something to kind of like give you that little extra prop to get into character. Because like the first day we were just in like shorts and t-shirts. We were just dudes playing Warhammer, and we felt kind of out of the loop because like all the characters there, they're all in character the whole time. Tons of other people there cosplaying. And then I started bringing props. It got me more into the whole experience. It was a lot more fun. So if
the
you
thing
went
that
there
got
and
me more into it was drinking.
Drinking also helps. The swag bag? Are you talking about like the special swag
So
bag?
yeah, there's like a additional, yeah, the premium swag bag for 130 extra fucking dollars. Jesus Christ, I don't think it was that much last year. Maybe it was. Matt got it.
It was something like that.
Matt got it,
Yeah.
and it was, if I remember correctly, it was like a set of dice, like several pins, a bunch of the like event exclusive miniatures. There was like a really shitty water bottle.
We got the water bottle too.
Did we? I don't
Like,
even remember.
Yeah.
I think I took my own water bottle, so I didn't pay attention.
Yeah, we got a basic swag bag with like a water bottle. There was like a pin, like not like a writing pin, but like a pin.
Yeah. I still have my like tarot card.
Oh yeah, we got
sitting over there
tarot
somewhere.
cards that were related to the event. That was how they determined your like table. I actually still have my bag somewhere over here.
Here's my tarot card. I was the Hound. I don't know if I still have my bag. I think I might have tossed it somewhere.
Yeah, here we go. So yeah, you get a bag.
Which this is a really cool, like, this is a nice little card too.
Oh fuck!
What?
I forgot I had a paint in there.
Hey yo!
I bought a paint at the store.
Yeah, so like everybody gets like some level of swag bag, but then the premium one has a bunch of extra shit in it.
They gave us a bunch of poker chips, which are like objective
I still have those.
size.
Yeah.
There was this coin. Oh yeah, Pact of Annihilation palette system. I forgot I got this.
Yeah, I still have mine. That's like on the set somewhere.
I got a little Nurgling pin.
Oh.
That's zooming in. Yeah, there he is. He's a little guy. The tarot card. I have a Marriott key card for some reason. I don't know why I have a Marriott.
Why do you have a Marriott key card?
Shh. Don't worry about it. There's a few other things in there, but so you get a little bit of something with the main ticket. If I remember right, Matt.
I would have to ask Matt. You might have to like ask him in Discord or something. But yeah, he got the like premium swag bag, and I don't remember all what was in there.
Yeah, I don't remember everything that was in it.
I don't know if it was something that I would have spent 130 extra dollars for, but
I think he also got gift certificates to the.
Oh, he got like he got like discounts for the shop, and
yeah,
I think he got like extra like drink tickets or something like that.
Oh yeah, there's drink tickets. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
The main bag gets drink tickets, and I think he got extra drink tickets.
Yeah.
So, and there's no guarantee that it's not going to be something completely different this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you got the money,
highly recommend
I would say it's pricey, but I would say it was worth it. It was an experience that I could never get anywhere else. But like, definitely go into it full force.
Be like ready to get in character, for sure.
Get in character from the get go. Have just some level of basic cosplay, whether it's just like a robe.
I was gonna wear my like cultist robe to the last one, but I was worried about getting too hot and melting, which is why on the narrative streams that we've been doing here, I've been conditioning myself in preparation for the narrative.
But yeah, get buckets of beer.
Get buckets of beer for sure.
That's a must.
Well, if you're going to the one in Atlanta, I don't know if the UK is going to do it because they got Bugmans, but
I'm sure they'll have some beer. English people like to drink.
Yeah, as far as I don't know if it'll come in buckets. Find out if it comes in buckets, and if it does, get a bucket. I got a bucket of beer, and I was like giving them to my opponents and stuff. It was fun. It's cool. Social experience.
Yeah, you just have a casual good time. Yeah, and let us know. Let us know if you're going. We can all talk about stuff.
Yeah, post about it in the Discord, and we can talk about what the fuck's happening, because it sounds like it's going to be crazy.
If we do wind up all being on the same faction, we could all, hype our team together.
Yeah. If I'm going to be, like, the only person that's going to be on, like, Chaos or something, then I'll just play a different faction. But, yeah. We'll plan
Yeah,
that
I guess-
out. We got several months. I'm not super worried about it at this point.
I guess if we go to Chaos, we're not necessarily leaving Matt high and dry because there's other people coming. But it would be cool to all be together.
Yeah.
It would be cool.
It would be cool.
But anyway, that's all we really have to say about speculation, I think.
Yep.
Uh,
That's all I got about speculation. That's all I got about hype. Highly recommend going if you can. And yeah, join us on Monday, where I think we're going to be doing Dark Angels with their new rules updates versus Imperial Knights that can now walk through walls.
Knights v Knights.
Knights v Knights. So that'll be
We
fun.
did this once before. Didn't the Knights get absolutely clapped by your
so
Deathwing Knights?
So that was the last one. It was Chaos Knights versus Dark Angels, and I think Chaos Knights got dumpstered by like turn 3.
Yeah.
Which
Was it
was a
Elliot
little-
running
which was a little
the
rough.
Chaos Knights in that
I
situation?
think so.
All right. And Deathwing Knights just got a weapon upgrade of a sort.
They got AP. Yeah.
I thought they got more damage.
Oh, they got AP, and then the maces got anti-vehicle.
Oh, anti-vehicle. That surely won't come up.
No. Don't worry about it. And
Good luck, Elliot.
Lionel Johnson can walk through walls.
You'll probably do better than I did the last game I played. I'll say that much.
That wasn't your fault. We'll have to get updated AdMech on the channel at some point soon.
I have to redeem myself.
True.
Can I not play any other army until I win a game with AdMech?
You can only play AdMech until you win.
Oh, no.
Even in AOS,
All right.
I'm gonna play Cruel Boys. You have to play AdMech.
I have to play AdMech in AOS.
Yeah.
I feel like I was being at a disadvantage. Some of the AOS rules
maybe
are kind of crazy.
Yeah, our damage splashes over. Yours just doesn't get wrecked.
Yeah. No, that's not fair.
Yeah, join us on Monday for that. Then the following Monday is going to be our next Throne of Lies narrative. That'll be fun. And yeah, that's what we got coming up. Good night.
Take it easy, I guess.